The member for Mildura.
Acting Speaker. When it comes to the safety of children, Victorians don't want half measures, they want certainty. And sadly, this Worker Screening Act Amendment Bill delivers neither. It's baby steps and it teeters around the edges. The safety of Victorian children, as I said earlier, is one of the most important responsibilities of any government and, in fact, of any MP in this place. Parents, carers and communities deserve confidence that the systems that are in place are robust, that they're thorough and that they're actually effective when they need to be. And sadly, this system and this bail fails that test. 3 years ago, as we've heard every other member on this side of the House state, the Victorian Ombudsman tabled a report with very, very clear recommendations. And 3 weeks ago, the member for Kew also presented a bill that had all of those recommendations included in that bill. So we presented a blueprint to strengthen the Working with Children system. The recommendations that the Ombudsman had presented highlighted gaps that could put children at risk. And here we are, 3 years later, with a bill that doesn't implement any of the reforms that the Ombudsman identified, nor any of the reforms from the so-called rapid review. And here's the ultimate truth. This bill does nothing to give parents peace of mind. Like I said, it tinkers around the edges, it changes the paperwork, but it's not fixing the system. We could do this right the first time. What parents want is pretty simple, in my opinion. It's to know that when they drop their children at daycare, at kinder, at sport, dance, school, scouts, or after school care, the people that are responsible have been checked under the most rigorous system possible. This bill doesn't deliver that assurance. Now, the Ombudsman's recommendations were clear. It called for a more transparent appeals process, greater information sharing between agencies, stronger oversight of interim decisions and clearer communication with applicants and parents alike. These are not radical, not expensive recommendations or reforms, they are just common sense. And yet, for 3 years, this government's chosen to ignore them. And that is a fundamental failure of every single child in this state. In regional communities like mine, parents are already faced with the challenge of fewer childcare options, fewer sports coaches, fewer teachers, fewer early childcare educators, and fewer volunteers. So when the system fails to screen people properly, it doesn't just create risk, it erodes trust that is already eroding. And once that trust is gone, kids in the regions completely miss out. They miss out everywhere. So we should be debating legislation similar, if not, the bill that the member for Kew put up 3 weeks ago. Legislation that puts children first, not legislation that puts bureaucracy first. Parents don't want red tape. They want reassurance. We want to know that when we drop our kids off at daycare, and I was so spoilt with my children's early education in kinder at Murray Valley Aboriginal Cooperative, is where they were educated from the time they were 12 months old. And I was so lucky because I knew undoubtedly that when I dropped my kids off at MVAC, that I did not have to worry, I wasn't concerned at all, and every parent deserves that reassurance when it comes to their kids. Parents don't want red tape, like I said. They don't want excuses. Parents want action, and most of all, we want our kids to be safe. Now, this parliament has an opportunity to ensure the Working with Children system is rigorous, transparent and, most importantly, trusted. And this bill falls well short of that. When it comes to child safety, second best is simply not good enough. So I urge the government to listen to the Ombudsman, their own rapid review, listen to the bill presented 3 weeks ago, and listen to parents to deliver real reform that Victorians deserve. Because like I have said, Victorians and Victorian children deserve absolute certainty when it comes to their safety, not half measures, no excuses, and not another missed opportunity. And this bill is all three of those.